Hey, so I'm out here on a hike and once again thinking of things I'd love to tell you about. And so the thing I really want to focus on today is something I hear from my clients all the time, and that's that they just don't fundamentally feel safe with most people. I'm wondering if that's something that you can relate to, that you've dealt with. Yeah, so people tend to, when they feel this way, respond from their main trauma response. And so I've seen lots of versions of that over the years. One client that I'm really thinking about today is somebody who really responds from the fight response, the fight trauma response. And so she's especially triggered by people who are what we call in the US Midwest nice, like they tend to chit chat, to make small talk. Yeah, and that is just a big trigger for her that she responds to by just shutting them down really hard. So much so sometimes that she says people have started to cry when she does that, when she kind of stops them from talking and chit chatting. And so she this had been going on for years for her. And so what was really interesting was what started to happen for her when she started to unlearn layers of this learned distress, this stored complex trauma that she had. And so she started talking about what had been going on, and she started telling me about a coworker that she talked about many times who was a big trigger for her. Very Midwest nice, this coworker. And she said, "Oh, this coworker, she's really kind of delightful." And I said, "Delightful? What are you talking about? You have only talked about how totally irritating she is to you." And she said, "Oh, oh yeah, you're right. Actually, that's really different." And I said, "Wow, okay, so what else has been going on?" And she said, "Oh yeah, you know, the other place she tended to get triggered a lot was like in public, like just with strangers in stores and wherever." And she said she was out once shopping with her son, and she was bantering with somebody in a parking lot, just having kind of fun. And she walked back to the car, and her son was looking at her like she was an alien. And he said, "Who are you? And what have you done with my mother?" And she said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "You were having fun talking to that guy." And she said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we were having fun." And he said, "Yeah, that's the problem. Who are you? This is not what you would normally do." And she said, "Oh yeah, you're right. That is really different." And here is the hallmark of unlearning, of peeling off layers of learned distress, is that when we get rid of this stored trauma that is actually what's making us feel unsafe in this case, it's not that we have to control it or manage it, it's that our response automatically changes to really typical triggers that we have. And that's what's happening for her. And that's what I see all the time. That's why I love doing this work. So, forgive the wind. Yeah, I'm just wondering if this is something you can really relate to and how you tend to respond when you are feeling unsafe with people. I'd love to hear about it in the comments if you want to share. And I think the wind is telling me it's time to go. So anyway, I will see you again next time. Thanks for taking a watch today. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.